morning. Today we are going to continue with solving triangles and finding the missing sides and angles in a right triangle. So far we have learned that in a right triangle, the ratio between the opposite to this is opposite, this is hypotenuse, this is adjacent. This is angle A. This is a right triangle. We said that the ratio between the opposite to the hypotenuse is called sine of an angle, and cosine is the ratio between the adjacent to the hypotenuse, and tan is the ratio between the opposite of the opposite to the adjacent. So to make it short, we can say it is SohCahToa. So you remember this. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, tan is opposite over adjacent. Okay? We're going to put this in our mind while we are doing problems. Now, when we have, how we think when we have any of these type of equation problems. The first thing we need to look for what is given to us. So the first thing, look what is given to us. Sides, what kind of side? This is opposite to the angle or adjacent to the angle or the hypotenuse. Which angle we have. Then see what is the question asking you to find. Then decide which trig ratio you are going to use. Sine, cosine, or tan, based on what is given and what you need to find. Then use algebra to solve using skills of solving equations. Okay? I will give you some examples so you can see how this works. By the way, in any question, when you see the question saying solve the triangle, that means find all the missing sides or angles. Okay, that's what we mean by solve a triangle. Okay, SohCahToa is used only when we are solving right triangles. When the triangle is not right, we're going to learn that on next week. We use sine law and cosine law. Alright, so now let us start. We have this triangle. It's a right triangle, so I am allowed to use SohCahToa. We have this side is 20 centimeter, and this angle is 30 degrees, and this is the missing side that we need to find. So I want to find this side. What I do here, what is given to me, this is a right triangle, so yes, I can use SohCahToa. The second thing, I am having a measurement of one angle. Okay, for this angle that I have, what else I know? I know the adjacent, because this is next to the angle and not the hypotenuse, and I need to find the hypotenuse. So which of these three has adjacent and hypotenuse? Yes, cosine. So I can say cosine theory equal adjacent, which I know, over hypotenuse, which I want to know. Okay? When we have 20 over x equal cosine theory, we can exchange x and cosine theory. Or, if you want to do it the longer way, you multiply both sides by x, so x cosine theory equal 20, then get rid of cosine theory, so x equal 20 over cosine theory. Then we use the calculator, and we must make sure that our calculator is in degree mode. Then we put 20 divided by cosine theory. We close the bracket and we hit enter, and we will get 20 if I did this calculation and I get 17.5, any number less than 20? Is this a right answer? Right away I can tell it is not a right answer. Why? Because we are dividing adjacent, one of the legs of the triangle, by the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse has to be bigger. So x has to be more than 20 because the hypotenuse is the longest side. So sine and cosine can never be more than 1. Okay? Sine of an angle must be the adjacent. The hypotenuse has to be longer than the adjacent and more than the opposite. Okay? So this is how we did this problem. Okay? Okay. Now let's have another example. I have a right triangle. This angle is 33 degrees. This is 24 and this is x. And this is a right triangle. Right triangle means, okay, I am allowed to use SohCahToa. So for what is given to me, it is given the measurement of this angle. What I also know, the hypotenuse. What I need to find, is this opposite or adjacent to the angle? It is across, so it is opposite. So I want to find the opposite and I know the hypotenuse. Which trig ratio? Sine. So I say sine this angle, 33 degrees, equal opposite, that's what I need to find, over hypotenuse, which is 24. Isolate for x, so multiply both sides by 24, so 24 sine 33 degrees. Then we go to the calculator and we do the calculation. 24 times sine 33, and close the bracket and hit enter. You will get 13.07. Okay, what if I did this and I found that I get 27? It should be wrong because the opposite has to be smaller or less than the hypotenuse. Okay, this is a second example. Third example. It says in triangle DEF equals 6 kilometer. Measurement of angle E is 44. Measurement of angle F equals 90 degrees. So we have a triangle DEF. Let's say this is D, E, F, because F is 90 degrees, E is 44, and the length of DF is 44. It says solve this triangle. Solve means find everything that's missing. So the first thing that I can find is this angle. Why? Because the sum of, it's very easy to find it, the sum of these three angles add up to 180, so it is 180, take away 90 plus 44, so this should be 46 degrees. So we found this angle as 46 degrees. This is 44 degrees, so this angle is 46. Okay, sorry, this is not 44, DF is 6. Now I need to find these two other sides. So if I want to find this side, I know this angle, it is given to me. It's better to use the information that's given to you. So if you did a mistake, you don't add to these mistakes. So if I want to find this side and I know this side is opposite, and what I want to find is adjacent. So which trig ratio has the opposite and the adjacent? It is the tan. So I can say tan to 44 degrees equal opposite over adjacent, which is EF. Now we find EF, we exchange this and that, so EF will equal 6 divided by tan 44 degrees. Then we use the calculator. So 6 divided by tan 44, close the bracket, hit enter, so 6.213. So this is, now we found this as 6.2. Okay, now we want to find this side. There is many ways we can find this side. I can use, if I want, I can use Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I also can use, I know this side and I want to find this side. This side is opposite and this is hypotenuse, so I can use sine 44 equals 6 divided by DE. So DE will equal 6 over sine 44. What do you expect DE to be? Can it be less than 6 or 6.2? No, it has to be more because it's the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse has to be the longest side. So yes, we found that it is 8.64. So now we can say that we have solved the whole triangle and we found everything. Okay. All right. Let us have one more example. Let us say we have this triangle. It's a right triangle. K 12. This is 12.3. This is I. This is J. And this is 4.4. We need to find the measurement of angle J. So what is given to me? I want to find angle J. For me, for angle J, I know the opposite and I know the adjacent. Okay, this is the next and not the hypotenuse, and this is the opposite. So which trig ratio? 10. So I say tan J equal 12.3, the opposite, over the adjacent. And then that means J equal, the measurement of angle J equal tan minus 1. When we find the angle, we use tan inverse or tan minus 1. It is the same thing. And we just use the calculator and we find it. So inverse tan 12.3 divided by 4.4, close the bracket, hit enter. You will find that the measurement of this angle is 70.3 degrees. And of course, if this is 70.3, you can get this one, it will be 19.7 degrees because the 3 add up to 180. Okay, so it's very simple. Always see if it's a right triangle. You can use SohCahToa. You need to determine which one you use based on what is given and what you need to find. After that, you use the algebra to solve the equation and everything will be simple. Okay, so I wish that you have a wonderful long weekend and do the work today and enjoy